All You Need to Know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business.
Good morning and thanks for listening in. Happy Friday to you. This is the All You Need to Know podcast on Bloomberg Quint and I'm Alex Matthew. Today is the 15th of January. Here's everything that you need to know at the start of the end of your week. Active coronavirus cases in India continued to decline at a time when the central and state governments are preparing for an immunization program that starts over the weekend. India reported just under 16,950 new cases in the 24 hours to 8 a.m. yesterday. Meanwhile, India, which as you know is one of the world's largest manufacturers of vaccines, plans to offer 20 million doses of coronavirus vaccine to its neighbors as it draws up a policy to supply vials to countries across the globe. An Indian state-run company will buy vaccines from the Serum Institute of India and Bharat Biotech International for supplying to Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, Seychelles, and Mauritius. Some of the supplies may be free and treated as aid. The Reserve Bank of India has told bond market participants a recent measure to mop up excess liquidity isn't a step towards changing its accommodative policy. That's according to a Bloomberg report. In a meeting with executives from large banks on Tuesday, an RBI official assured them about its continued easy monetary policy. Setting the policy stance is the remit of the rate-setting panel, and the central bank's plan to drain cash was just to modulate liquidity as it gradually unwinds the pandemic response measures. That's according to the official that was not named but who was present at the meeting. The yield on the 10-year government bond ended almost flat at 5.89% yesterday. In Maharashtra, the government has issued a directive to the state planning authorities to reduce fees charged for real estate approvals and listed out conditions for availing the benefit, providing clarity to developers. Among other things, developers will have to pay stamp duty on behalf of buyers till all units of a project that has availed of the benefit are sold. Planning authorities and real estate firms will also have to publish the list of such units on their websites. For more details on the directive, do look up the story on the website bloombergquint.com. Now, the Gujarat High Court has rejected a plea seeking extension of due dates of filing tax returns and audit reports, saying interference in the matter of revenue at this point of time may have far-reaching implications. The High Court said that while it may grant an order on the grounds that deadlines had already been extended 3 times before, such an approach may upset the functioning of government and may lead to undesirable results. In international news, applications for US state unemployment benefits surged last week by the most since late March, pointing to persistent labor market pain as coronavirus infections continued to rise in the US. Initial jobless claims in regular state programs rose by 181,000 to a total of 965,000 last week, according to Labor Department data that was released yesterday. The data showed a broad number of states with large increases. On an unadjusted basis, the figure jumped to as much as 1.15 million. And now with that, it's over to Hormuz Fatakia for the trade setup for the day in India. Morning, Hormuz. How are we looking today?
Good morning to you, Alex, and to those tuned in. Well, the final trading day of the week is here, but the Sensex is still around 400 points away from 50,000. We have had 2 quiet days, but the Sensex is set for its 11th straight weekly advance. Now, that will still remain the longest weekly run since 2009, as that one stretched 14 long weeks. What did well on Thursday was FMCG and pharma. Now, what didn't do well was metals. The IT index, once down nearly 3% in the first hour of trade, nearly recovered all of its losses and ended flat. Early ticks on the SGX Nifty today show that the index traded 50 points lower below the mark of 14,600. So what specific stocks do I have for you today? I'll first begin with an update on the SAIL OFS. Now, although the stock ended 10% lower on Thursday, the offer for sale received a healthy response. The offer received demand for close to 75 crore shares as compared to the 18 crore shares that were on offer. The bids were received at an indicative price of 65.5 rupees per share. The government has said that it will exercise its oversubscription option of over 20.65 crore shares. The OFS for retail investors will open for subscription today. It was Hindustan Aeronautics yesterday and it's Bharat Dynamics today. The company has signed a teaming agreement with Thales to manufacture the Starstreak air defense system in India. The company will become a part of the Starstreak global supply chain. The agreement will be an opportunity for the company to provide the said system to the Indian Armed Forces with a minimum of 60% indigenous content under the Make in India program. PNC Infratech's wholly owned subsidiary has received communication from the National Highways Authority of India confirming the achievement of financial closure for the Aligarh-Kanpur highway project on a hybrid annuity model basis. The bid project cost is over 2,000 crore rupees. Now watch out for Ahluwalia contracts in today's session as SBI Mutual Fund has acquired close to 4% stake in the company at 265 rupees a share. The stock ended over 3.5% higher on Thursday. Moving on to earnings now, Tata Steel Long Products returned to profitability in the December quarter, courtesy strong metal prices, a 37% jump in revenue and lower finance costs. The company also delivered EBITDA margins of 30%, while those in the same quarter last year were just 3.5%. Also watch for HFCL, which reported results after market hours on Thursday. The company's revenue grew 50%, profits rose nearly 80%, while margins expanded over 200 basis points. The company said that its order book currently stands at 7,113 crore rupees, with the pipeline going forward looking robust. It also said that the focus is now on expanding its product portfolio and increasing exports. Among the earnings to be reported today, HCL Technologies will be reporting results pre-market open today, so keep an eye out for that one. And some important non-index names like L&T Finance Holdings, PVR, Shoppers Stop and Hathway Cable will also be reporting their quarterly results today. Some buzzing stocks from Thursday's session. Bajaj Electricals was the worst performer on the small cap index, ending lower by over 6%. The stock snapped a 9-day gaining streak, during which it had risen over 34% to a record high of 838 rupees a share. Sequence Scientific rose for the third straight day on Thursday, ending 10.5% higher. The stock closed at a record high. What also ended near its 52-week high was Quest Corp, which ended 10% higher. The stock too rose for the third straight day and has risen over 20% during the period. And that's all from me this week. I wish you all a happier weekend ahead, and it's back to you, Alex.
Thanks, Hormuz. And as always, thank you all for listening in. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great Friday and an even better weekend.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you can listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Pesa Vesa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma. Or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.